So recently, Godox sent me this 5.5-inch camera monitor telling me that it was better in every single way than my Atomos Shinobi II. And you know what? It also will save you $200. Oh, and spoiler alert, yeah, it is better in every single way except for two. And those might be deal breakers for you. And I'll get to those at the end. Now, at the time I'm filming this, you can pick up the little Godox monitor for only $219 instead of, well, $419. So we'll start with a $200 advantage for Godox. First, it's bigger. It's a 5.5-inch monitor as opposed to a 5.2. Now, I know that a third of an inch diagonally isn't the hugest difference in the world, but when I look at them, yeah, well, the Godox clearly is bigger. So what would I pay to have this monitor be a third of an inch bigger? Well, I'd probably pay an extra $10 for that. Yeah, it's a little bigger. Oh, and another big advantage to this Godox, it has an HDMI in and out, whereas this just has in. So yeah, I'm actually able to get my monitor set up here because I can go into the Godox and then out again into the Atomos. I can't do that in the Atomos because, well, there's no output. So what would I pay to get an HDMI output on the Atomos? Well, that's a pretty big feature. I don't know if I'm going to need it all the time, but when you do, yeah, well, you really do. Otherwise, you're buying a splitter and that can cost, 30, 40 bucks. Let's give it $15. Yeah, that's a nice feature. Next, the Godox monitor is all metal, aerospace aluminum, they say. Yeah, so if you're going to go into space, well, this is the one you're going to want to bring. In contrast, the Atomos monitor is, well, it's plastic. It's lighter weight, you got to give it that. But the build quality is much better on the Godox. Yeah, so what would I give that? Well, probably only $5 because, it's not the biggest deal to me. Plus, the lighter weight kind of offsets that. But we got to give it something for being aerospace aluminum. $5. Now, I would give Atomos something for being a lot thinner if it wasn't for the fact that in order to use the lens hood, well, you have to put on this very big, clunky adapter that snaps on like that, making it, well, pretty much the same thickness. Now, both of these monitors come with a lens hood, but the Godox is far superior. Here, let me show you. Snaps on just like that, and yeah, closes up and protects your screen. This is fantastic. The Atomos lens hood comes in two parts. This little plastic piece that snaps on the top, and then there's this little sort of floppy thing that kind of goes in just sort of like, I get that in? Yeah, like that. Yeah, this, not so good. So what would I pay for a better lens hood? Well, I'd probably pay an extra 20 bucks for this lens hood over the crappy one. Yeah, lens hood, way better. Oh, and both these monitors are touch panels. The controls are a little different, but they're pretty much the same. They give you things like false colors and waveforms, and both have anamorphic D-squeeze, for example. Pretty much everything you would expect to find in a great monitor. Yeah, they both have that. But the Godox does have some control features that the Atomos doesn't. For example, it has 5 preset buttons right here. So if you want to get false color or turn zebras on or off or whatever you want, you can just set these up for these little presets right at the top of the screen. This is great. And what would I pay to have preset buttons on top of my Atomos? Well, because I have really fat fingers and it's hard for me to hit these little buttons over here, I'd probably pay an extra $15. Yeah, I have kind of fat, chubby fingers. Oh, but you should know that while both of these can accept a 4K signal into them, they're only going to display 1080p because, well, they're so small, I doubt you'd know the difference. Oh, and another advantage of the Godox is that there's no fan in this. Yeah, so you're not going to get that fan noise into your camera. And remember, your monitor sits really, really close, and there is a fan in this unit here. This one's not as loud as it was in my old Ninja, but yeah, you can still kind of hear it. So another big advantage to Godox. And what would I pay for that? Well, I'd probably pay, that's not very loud. Let's go with $5. Yeah, so far in my testing, well, the Shinobi isn't really a loud fan. Now, both of these are powered by NPF batteries, and those batteries are heavy. In fact, they're the heaviest thing about both of these monitors. But the great thing about both of these monitors, you can also power them through USB-C, or you can plug them into mains power. Now in the Godox, you just plug in the mains power right here through the little adapter that comes with the unit. Now on the Atomos, you have to take off the battery and slide in this little unit that goes into the battery compartment. Yeah, that clicks in here, and then there's a locking cable that goes to the mains power. But you know, my favorite thing about this is this little stand right here. Yeah, you can actually pull this little stand out, and basically it gives you something to set the monitor on. Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, to properly show off the kickstand, I'm probably going to need to remove this little quick release unit here. Yeah, this little unit is great because it allows you to just slide on and clip on the hot shoe mount. So with that off, well, you can just put the monitor down on the table like that. Yeah, here, let me show you. Like that. Oh, and the Atomos also comes with this little piece of plastic here that you can attach, and then it gives you a locking HDMI cable that will go into this unit. Yeah, that's pretty nice as well. So we do have to give something to Atomos for the locking HDMI cable, the locking power supply, as well as this nice all-metal quick release system. Oh, but remember, the Godox also has a nice little metal hot shoe adapter. Now, while none of these features are truly groundbreaking, they are nice, and they add up to quite a lot. In fact, I'm going to say $25 I'm going to take back from Godox for these nice little features we've talked about here. 5. Yeah. These are nice. Hey, if you're enjoying this video, please hit the like button. It's the easiest thing you can do to help me get this video out to more people like yourself. And now for my two big disappointments in the Godox monitor, and they both have to do with software. So maybe they'll get improved in the future, and if they do, I'll do a video right over there telling you about the great new features in the Godox and why it's my new favorite monitor. But for now, let's go over my two disappointments. First, there's no way to calibrate this monitor. Yeah, you pretty much get the colors that come out of it. Now, it will do HLG and it will do Rec 709, but you get the Rec 709 that it tells you, and you don't get any control over that. When I look at this monitor, I see a little magenta in there that I'd like to get out because I don't see that same magenta in my camera. This Atomos looks a lot closer to what I see in my camera. Now, I don't have any real way of testing this to know exactly how great it is, but I will tell you that the Atomos is able to be color calibrated with one of those little spider color calibrators, and that is fantastic. And so when Godox gets that, well, then Godox will be able to take the lead over Atomos. But for now, in color, straight out of the box, as well as color calibration abilities, well, Atomos reigns supreme. But by far, my biggest disappointment in this unit is that it's not able to control my Sony cameras. Yeah, my a7S III, my a7 IV, and my FX2. This won't control them, even though it can control some cameras. And it can control some older Sony cameras. But when I reached out to Godox and asked them what's going on here, they told me that Sony has changed the protocols in their camera control. Now, Godox did tell me that they're working on a firmware update for this, but until that firmware really comes out, yeah, I wouldn't hold my breath because this has been out for quite a while and we haven't seen any control for those Sony cameras. So with the Atomos, I can do what I've always wanted to do, and that is adjust the focus right here from the monitor. Yeah. This is awesome, and it puts the Atomos in a different league. A league that Godox could join if only they made a firmware update for it. That firmware update would make the Godox not only half the money, but a better monitor than the Atomos. But for now, until Godox can get over that software hurdle, well, for Sony Shooters, this isn't better in every single way, just in most ways. Hey, thanks for stopping by.